Today I'm going to show you exactly how you can automate your Facebook posts using a platform called N8N. Now this approach requires no coding at all and has a human in the loop, which means after a post is generated, you can either approve the post to be posted to your Facebook page, or you can deny it and then make any of the changes that you'd like before it's actually posted. Now I'm going to start with a quick demo of how this agent actually works, and then I'm going to walk you through building it and setting it up for yourself. So to interact with this agent, we can just come over to our Telegram chat here, and we can say something like, create me a post about a new video. Create me a post about a new video talking about how to automate Facebook posts. So we're going to send that, and you'll see that we get a post here generated. And let's say I don't want to post this. Let's say I want to make a couple of changes. So I can select do not post. We'll open up this little website here, which I'll tell you about later. But let's say rewrite the post. Okay, so let's say I like this. So all I have to do is just click post here. Again, it opens up that link, and then now it has actually been posted. So I can go over to my Facebook page, refresh here, and you can see that post has actually been posted directly to my Facebook page after I've approved it and selected post here. So now I'm going to show you exactly how you can set this up for yourself and actually automate your own Facebook post. So like I said earlier, you're going to come over to a platform called N8N. You just create an account here. Once you log in, you'll be brought to this overview page where in the top right, we're going to select create a new workflow. So I'm actually going to open up the one I just created and walk you through this process, but I will remake it just right below here, so you kind of get the full process of how to actually set this up. So you'll be prompted to add a trigger node. So that is the action that actually starts the rest of this workflow here. And in this case, we are going to use a Telegram trigger. If you're not familiar with Telegram, Telegram is a messenger platform similar to WhatsApp, and it just allows us to interact with this agent. It's very helpful. You can do it on your computer or your phone. Very helpful to actually interact with these agents on N8N. So I'm going to add another trigger here, which you will just add a Telegram trigger like this. The event we're going to do is on message, and then I'll just drag this over here. So you will be prompted to either connect your Telegram account. So you will need to create a Telegram account in the first place, and then how you can connect it is you need to actually start a conversation with what is called botfather. It's a little strange, but the username is @botfather, and then you do /start to actually start a conversation. It gives you the list of options that you can do. So you're going to create a new bot by doing /new bot. It'll walk you through the naming process, and then it will give you the link to actually chat with that bot, and then the API token here to copy the API token, and then you're going to paste that into N8N here. So now that you've connected your Telegram account, we actually need to test this step. So we're going to go back to our bot that you just created, and then we're going to select test step. You're going to select test this step here, and you can see it starts listening for the action. So I'm just going to type a message in the Telegram bot, and you can see that it fills in all of the output from that message here. So we can go back over to N8N, and you can see the next thing we're actually going to do is add our AI agent. So this is the agent that's actually going to be generating the post. So you're going to go add a step here, go to advanced AI, select AI agent, and then you'll be brought to this page where we're going to leave it as a tools agent, and then we're going to define the prompt below, and then here's where we can actually prompt the agent. So we're going to switch this here from a fixed to expression. Expression just allows us to input variables, and in this case we do need the variable, and the variable is going to be the message that we are actually sending through Telegram. So that is called text in this case, is the variable name. And then you can see the little preview of the message that I just sent. So you can see that I sent test to our agent, and you can see the preview for that there. So I'm just going to copy the same prompt that I gave my agent up here, and then I'll walk you through what this prompt is actually doing. So if you just click this button here, it opens it up a little bit bigger of a page, but you can see I'm saying make a Facebook post about the following topic. Only respond with a post, as I'm running an automation on your response. This allows us to use the output from this agent later on when we're actually posting to Facebook. And then I'm saying your response should always be less than 250 characters. And this was actually here for the purpose of automating Twitter posts. So if you want to check out my video on that, I'll link it up above. But for Facebook, you can post longer than this, but I just like having my post shorter. So that's just personal preference here, the reason behind limiting the characters here. But then we're giving it the topic, which I said, you can see it turns green. That is just denoting that it's a variable. So like I said, that variable is the message that we're sending in through Telegram. So all you have to do to add that is you can just type topic, and then you can go over here to this input section and just drag and drop it in there. So we're going to click out of this prompt here, and then we're going to do one more thing inside of this agent. We're going to add an option and then select system message. This allows us to give the agent here kind of some more information as to how it should actually respond. You can see a very basic system message here, so we're just going to delete this, and then I'll walk you through the purpose of this system message that I've created in the agent above. So you can see I'm telling it to act as a social media marketing expert who runs whatever business or whatever you're posting content about. So for me, that's AI automation. And then I'm saying you were creating Facebook posts for my business page. The responses or posts should not be too long and formatted appropriately with spacing between the main points. That's just your personal preference and how you actually want your post formatted. And then it should be framed as if it's coming from me. So this was a issue that I actually ran into, so I just adjusted this system message here. So it was referring to my post. It was saying we did this, and I'm singular, so I wanted it to say I. That was just a little adjustment that I made to the post just by adding this little bit of text here in the system message. So you can kind of test your post, and then if you don't like some of the ways that they're coming out, you can just either adjust the prompt here or the system message here. So now that we've set that up, we can click out of this agent, and we can actually go through and set up these tools below here, the chat model. So the chat model, I'm just going to select OpenAI, and then you'll actually need to connect your OpenAI account if you haven't already done so. So to do that, you can just look up OpenAI API. So we're going to click on this website here to go to OpenAI API. This is the overview. You might have to log into this page, but we're going to go to the top. We're going to select dashboard, go over to the left side here and select API keys, and then select create new secret key. This just prompts you to name the key, and then it will give you the secret key. So you want to keep that somewhere safe, write it down somewhere, and then copy and paste that, and we can go back over to Init-In, and you're just going to paste that in here to actually connect to your account. And then the model where you can just leave as 4.0 mini, that just automatically populates in there. So now that you've connected your account, we can click out of this chat model, and then we can add a memory tool here. The memory tool, we're just going to use this window buffer memory, and we don't have to change anything besides this session ID. And to do that, we're just going to select this first session ID we're going to define below. And then the key for this, we're going to drag in the chat ID from our Telegram chat, which we can get through this input section over here. Go to chat and then drag in the chat ID. So now that is completely set up. We can drag both of those out of the way. and then we can go back and make sure that we have set everything up accordingly. For now, we are actually going to send a Telegram message back to ourselves. We can do that by adding another node here, typing in Telegram. We're going to go down to send a text message. Everything should already be filled in here correctly. We just need to execute the previous nodes to actually get that chat ID. So you can see now it gives us the input from the first Telegram trigger and then the AI agent that generated the post. So the chat ID, we're just going to grab from Telegram, go down to chat ID, drag that in here. And then the text, again, I'm going to copy from the workflow that I've already made and then walk you through what it's actually doing. So you're going to make sure that the text here is set to expression because we are referencing certain variables. And then I'm going to open this up and show you what is actually happening here. Right. So we're saying your post is, and then we're filling in the post. So I'm going to enter down a couple lines, and then I'm going to change this variable. So we're going to go to the output from the agent and just drag that in here. And then this, you're just going to want to copy directly. What this is doing is it says, please click or tap post. And then this inserts a link for a webhook. Now, I'm not going to overwhelm you too much, but it turns the word post and it turns the words do not post into links for a webhook. So that is what this little bit of text is doing here, is turning it into basically a webhook, and then it sets a variable called answer to post. So, and then here it's setting that same variable answer to not post. So you're just going to copy this directly basically. I'll explain how this works and when we set up the next two steps, but just know that it works for the purpose of this, basically approving the post or not approving the post. So once you've copied that, we can click out of this Telegram message here, and we can go out of the Telegram node, and then we're going to add a wait node. So if you just type wait, this is where we're actually going to wait for a webhook call. So we're going to click wait for a webhook call. We can leave that as the same. I believe we changed that to post. No. So get 200 and then immediately. So just leave everything here the same. And what this does is it waits to run the rest of this workflow until after we've selected either of these two links here. And then that triggers a webhook, which this node is actually waiting for that webhook. So then we can add another one where we are going to switch, or I believe it's if. Yeah. So this is an if statement. And what this does is in the Telegram trigger, we are setting that variable. The variable name is answer. And then if we click post, it is setting the answer variable to the value post. So what we need to do, so here we're going to fill in that answer variable, which we can do by executing the previous nodes. It's waiting for a response. So it sent us that message. You're just clicking one of the two options here. It doesn't really matter if you're setting this up. But we just need that response for the purpose of filling in this variable. So you're going to go back to your Telegram and click one of the two options. Then we can go back to initN, and you can see that it gives us all the information from that wait here. We are going to go down to the query. So under wait, scroll, it's kind of far down, but you're going to go to query here, and then we're going to drag in this answer variable into that first section here, and then we're going to set is equals to. So if answer is equal to post, then it will be true, and we're going to post to Facebook. So we're going to add under this true section, we're going to add Facebook, and it's actually going to be Facebook Graph API. And then I'll show you how to set this up in just a minute. And then if that's not true, you don't have to add anything else. It just automatically goes to false. And in this case, we're just not going to do anything. And since we don't do anything, we can chat with this same agent to modify the same post. And since it has this memory tool here, it can reference the same post that was just generated and actually edit that post. So you can see in one of the examples I had, it said insert video link, and I said remove the insert video link. So it went back to that previous message that it had sent and gave me the exact same message back and had just removed insert video link. So that just allows us to make very quick changes to posts that are generated without us actually having to re-prompt the agent every time. So now that this is set up, we can actually connect our Facebook account to actually post these when we select post here. So to do this, we are going to select this drop down, add a credential, and then I find it easiest to open the docs here. These are just the init-in documentation, and we can go to, I believe it's Meta for Developers. You're going to scroll down to this using app access token section and click Meta for Developers. This takes us to Meta's page, where we can go to the top right and select My Apps. And then we need to create an app here. Good to name that app. So I'm going to say I'm just going to name it this so I know what this app is actually doing, but you might want to do init-in connection or something like that. We can select next. Oops. Okay, so that just wasn't letting me because I was putting Facebook in the name, but you name it, and then we're going to select other for this purpose. Just select other at the bottom, click next. We're going to do a business, so you're going to want to make sure that you're both your Facebook page, and if you're doing this for Instagram as well, I'll show you the Instagram settings just while we're here setting this up, that if you want to post to Instagram as well, I'll show you what settings to actually add to do that as well. We're going to make sure that at least your Facebook post or your Facebook page is a business page. So we're going to select business here, select next, and then I'm going to add my business portfolio, which I have two of, but I'm going to add the one that my Facebook page is actually connected to, and then we're going to select create an app. Now you're going to be prompted to enter your password. You can select submit, and then it will take a little bit to actually make this app. So once this app is created, we're going to be brought to this page to actually add products to our app. So since we're doing Facebook posts, we're going to scroll all the way down to login, Facebook login for business. So we're going to select setup here. And then I believe we can just leave everything here as is. There's a lot of settings that you can change, but we're just going to leave everything as it already is. And then I'm going to select add another product. You just want to do this if you plan to automate your Instagram posts as well. So if you do plan to do that, just select add another product. We can scroll down, and then we're just going to select setup under Instagram. So this video is just talking about Facebook posts, but since we're already in this Meta dashboard, it's just easiest to do both if you plan to do both while we're here. I will put out another video showing how to set up an Instagram post automation, but I just figured that it'd be easier to set this up while we're already here. So again, we're just going to leave everything here as is. And then from here, we actually need to go to app settings to turn this app live. So we're going to go to settings and then go to basic. And then we actually need to add a privacy policy URL. So if you have a website, just add the privacy policy URL for your website. And we can then click save here at the bottom. And click save changes after you've added that privacy policy URL. And then I'll show you what to do just after that. So we can select save changes at the bottom after we've added that privacy policy URL. Then we're going to go up to the top and change this app mode from development to live. It does take a minute sometimes. So you can see that it's now live. And then what we want to do after that is go up to the top, and under this tools drop down, we're going to go down and select Graph API Explorer. So then we're going to be brought to this page. I already have some apps here, but we're going to select the app that you just made. So mine is the initNvid example. And then we can go down to the bottom, and we're actually going to add some permissions to this app. So if you're just posting to Facebook, I believe it's under other. No. So I think it's under event groups pages. Yeah. So under event groups pages, we actually need to add 4 permissions here to post to Facebook. And I have them written down over here. So we need pages show list. So right here, pages show list. We need business management. Business management. And then pages read engagement. And then lastly, we need pages manage posts. So those are the 4 permissions you're going to add for Facebook. And then I'm going to quickly go over the permissions for Instagram. So for Instagram, it's just 2 more. You need Instagram basic and then Instagram content published. So I'm not entirely sure why you need some of these for Facebook. Instagram, to me, the names here make more sense, but you need those 4. These first 4 for Facebook, then the last 2 for Instagram. And then after we've added all of those permissions here, we're going to go up and select generate access token. And then you're going to be brought to log into your account. And then continue. I'm going to select the Facebook page that I want to give permissions to. Select the business portfolio. And then this is my Instagram. And then we can select save here. Got it. And you can see that we actually get this access token here. So we want to make sure this access token is actually working. And to do that, we're going to go up to this top here. And we're going to go delete everything besides me. And then we're going to type / and then accounts. So you should have me / and then the word accounts, and then we're going to select submit. And you should get a response here. If you don't, just try to generate that access token again. But you can see we get this response. It's a lot of information here, but all we're going to do is just copy this access token inside those quotations. So we're just going to copy this. And then one thing we're going to do really quickly is actually go up to the tools section here again, and we're going to go to access token debugger. We're going to paste in that access token that we just copied and select debug. And you can see if we scroll down here to this expires section, it expires in about an hour. So we've done all that work to get this access token, and it expires in an hour. And I don't know what Meta expects us to do with a token that only lasts an hour. But what we can do is actually scroll down and go to the bottom here and select extend access token. And then it will give us an access token that actually expires later, so mine lasts until the end of April. So I'm going to copy this one, and now we can go back to n8n, and I'm going to paste in that access token here. And so you create new credential, paste in the access token, then you select save, and it will connect to your account. So I'm going to close this because I've already connected it, but now that you've connected your account, we are going to leave the host URL as default. We're going to change this to a post request, I believe. Look at this previous one. Yeah, so we're going to do post request. The Graph API version, I'm just going to do the latest version here. And then the node, I'm going to type me. I'm not sure what this does entirely, but we're going to type me. And then the edge here is where we can actually specify what we want to post. So you can see it gives us the example of videos. So we can either do videos, feed. So if you type feed here, that allows us to just post words or text. So I'm going to show you how to set this up using feed. And if you want to post text and a photo, we're going to do photos. So you're going to type photos here. And that will allow you to also add photos here. So I'm going to start with feed, and then I'll show you how to actually add photos as well. So we're going to type feed, and then we're going to add an option below here. We're going to do query parameters, this first one, and then we can add a parameter. The name of this, we're going to name it as message, and then the value, we're going to select the output from the agent. So I'm going to execute the previous nodes. Okay, so I'm going to test this again. So I'm going to click at the bottom and say run test workflow. That was just because I clicked do not post when I was previously testing it. So for this case, we're going to make sure that we click post when we're testing this. And then we open up that page. So I just sent a test message to actually test the workflow. And then we're going to make sure that we selected post. So it goes down this true route up here to our Facebook Graph API. Now we can go back into n8n, and you can see that it has actually filled in this input section, which is exactly what we need. So the message here is going to be the value generated from the agent. So it's going to be all the way down here. This AI agent, we're going to drag in the output into the value here. So you can see that turns green. Make sure that's set to expression. And now we should be good to go. I'm going to test step. And you can see that we get a good output with the green check. So if I go over to my Facebook account, you can see that that test post is actually gone through and posted. So I'm going to delete both of these, but we know that they are working. And then we can go back to n8n. And then very quickly, I'll show you how to post images as well as text. So to do this, we are going to move everything to the right of the agent over just a little bit so we can actually add a step here. The step we're going to add is, you can type OpenAI and click OpenAI and then generate an image. So generate an image here. The prompt, we're going to say maybe something like, set it to expression, because we actually want to reference the output here from the agent. So we're going to say U2. And then we can drag in that post caption here. So I'm just saying make it realistic, and then make sure it's a business post, so it's appropriate for a business page. And then we're giving it the post caption here, which I do by just dragging in the output from the agent. You can see that turns green here. So you want to test this, and make sure it's generating images that you actually like. And then you can add other options here. So you can change the quality, the resolution, the style. I'm just going to leave these the same for now. But one thing we do want to make sure we do is actually add respond with image URLs. You'll see why I'm doing this in just a second, but we're going to select that, make sure that's on, because we actually need that URL of the image. So now we can go back, and then we can send the image through Telegram. So to do that, we're going to add another step in here, type Telegram, and then we're going to send a photo message. So the chat ID, we need to execute the previous nodes to get that chat ID again. And then that will also give us the URL for that image. So now that those have executed, the photo, we're going to drag in from that OpenAI, the URL, we're going to drag into photo. The chat ID, we're going to go down to the Telegram trigger, go to chat, drag in that chat ID, make sure both of these are set to expression, and we should be good to go. So we can click out of that, and I'll briefly explain the updates that we've made to this workflow. So we of course had that Telegram trigger to when we send the message to the agent. We have the agent to generate the caption or the text for the post. We've now added this OpenAI image generation, so that looks at the post caption or the text for the post and then generates an image for that post. Then we're sending ourselves the image through Telegram, and then we're sending ourselves the post caption. So we're going to get two messages back to back. The first one's going to be the post image, and the next one's going to be the post caption. Then we're going to select either post or don't post. If we select post, we're going to take this true route and actually post to Facebook. And if we select false, we're going to go down and we can just edit the post. So the next thing we need to do is go to this Facebook Graph API, and we need to actually edit what we are sending in for the query parameters here. So we're going to select execute previous nodes to get some of those variables. And then while it's doing that, I'm going to add a feed section here. The feed section we're going to change from feed to photos to allow us to also add a photo to our post. We're going to add a parameter here to add the URL. So we're going to name that URL, and then we're going to wait so we can get the URL from the image that is generated. So you can see that it's waiting while we're running it. So once we've clicked execute the previous nodes, made those changes, we're going to go out and go back over to Telegram. Make sure you click post so it goes down the top route here. Close out of that, and we can go back into N8N. Click on the Graph API, and now you can see that we've got those inputs here. So we can leave everything else the same here, except we need that URL from the image that was generated. So we're going to scroll down to the OpenAI step down here. So you can see OpenAI, and we're going to drag in that URL into the value section here. So we're going to make sure that this name is URL, and then the URL for the image is here. So that's why when we were generating that image, we actually made sure to respond with the URL of the image. So now that that's all done, we can test this step and make sure that it is actually posting to Facebook. So you can see we got a good output here with the green check. I go over to my Facebook account and refresh and made sure that those changes have actually gone through, and you can see that we've gotten that post here. So I'm going to delete this, but you can see everything's working, and we can go back to N8N, select save the workflow, and then you can actually change it from inactive to active, and we can interact with it through Telegram. And really quickly, while it's running, you can go up to this execution section here, and you can see the executions that are actually running. So it went from the Telegram trigger to the agent, made the caption for the post, and you can see it's actually not responding. So we need to edit the Telegram node here. So you can see it says your post is, and then doesn't respond with the post, and that was because of the variable names inside of the Telegram message. So that's coming from this second Telegram message where we're sending the caption back to ourselves. So if we quickly click on that, you can see that this variable is now turned red. So we actually need to replace that. We can scroll down to the output here, and you can see that the JSON.output, if we drag that in, it's actually changed the variable name here. So we want to make sure that that is back to green. We can go back and select save, and then change it back to active, and now we should actually get that post caption in our response as well. So I'm going to prompt it here, just the same message again. So you can see that it goes from the Telegram trigger, gets the message that we sent it, goes to the agent to generate the caption, it generates the image here, and then it sends us, so the first message we receive is the image, and then it sends us the post. So it says your post is, gives us the caption for the post, and now we are waiting for the response, so whether we click post or do not post. So I'm going to select do not post and then show you how we can actually edit this post. So it brings out the URL again, and then we are going to reprompt it. So we could say add a place. So you can see it's actually edited that and it added the place for me to add a link to the post. Pretty cool image actually. So then I can click, maybe I like this, I'm going to click post. So it opens up that link and just close out of it. And then I can go back to my Facebook page, refresh here, and you can see that that has been posted to my Facebook page. So yeah, that is how you set up an AI agent to actually automate your Facebook posts. It allows you to approve or do not approve of the post before it actually goes live, and then allows you to actually make changes to that same post if you did not approve of it directly. So I showed you how to post just captions, so just text to Facebook, and then how to also post images as well as text to Facebook. So if you have any questions, drop in the comments below. And if you got anything from this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, that's all I have for you today. Have a good one.